Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Oh, pardon any sync issues. Or if it suddenly decides to just, like, drop 5 seconds while I'm live, like it did that one time. I really don't know if there's a way to live edit, like as myself, and not have any lag and not make it look obvious. I don't know why I did it that one time. What's up, One to Go To? Glad you made it. And what's up, Michael? Glad you're here. Everybody come in and get comfy. It's a movie review. This will be for Jabberwocky from 1977. I did watch this on Tubi. I believe they're still going to have it up next month as well. They didn't have that little countdown thing. And I've just got my hand in front of the fan here. They didn't have that little, leaving in X amount of days thing up in the corner for it. So if you have seen this movie and want to watch it again in June, or if you watch a review of it by some random YouTuber before you watch the proper film, it will still be available. Uh, I don't know if it is on Pluto TV. I forget if I checked or not. Again, when I look for films, my first spot is usually Tubi because it has Dark Shadows. And then I'll check YouTube and Pluto TV for the other ones. But this came up in prior episodes because there's suddenly so much going on because I found out I'm so far behind on Dark Shadows. This is going to be the last movie review uh, for a while, probably not until next year. But again, like I was saying, there's always going to be movies available for us to watch. It's not like those streaming apps are going anywhere. Plus, if you want to believe Tubi, I did bring this up before, because I do still have The Edge from 1997 sitting there in my, I don't know, stuff to watch. It's not available right now, but when you tap on it, or maybe when you go to the website, it says it's like coming back in November, like November 1st. So that's next year for me. So just for example, if I were to get caught up with Dark Shadows, at least watching it all for myself this year, then I can start thinking about doing, like, I do love to do the movie reviews, but then I did find out that I'm just basically have to rewatch about 80% of a 1245 episode soap opera. Yeah, that's just way too much to do. And just what's been going on with me personally, it just takes me way too long to sit and watch a movie. It's not just say take 4 hours to watch a 2 hour movie. It took me all day to watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This took me. I usually write down the dates when I'm taking notes. I'm glad I didn't do that. That would have just been depressing because it's took me about 4 days, 3 days to get through. And it's not that the film is bad at all. It's not even that long. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. I just cannot concentrate. So I'm glad once I actually sort of like locked in the other day, I sort of got most of it watched, all of one sitting, I guess you could say, something like that. Yet it just felt like it took so long. A lot happens though for an hour and 45-minute movie. I give or take. There's a lot going on. It's not just I would not say that it is boring at all. Spoilers, there is not an extended bullfighting scene. Don't have to worry about that. Just gonna let a few more folks file in. What did you guys do? Did you do anything today, this week, last weekend? What day is it? Saturday? How was May for you? I kind of told myself I wasn't going to talk about this until next week, but we got a surprise yesterday, quite frankly. Now, again, I never look at the title of the show. I don't even look at the thumbnail because it's AI. I just show up and just get in the chat room and just wait. But somebody asked me who I thought the guest was going to be. I don't know what day is it even. Somebody I don't know, and I'm thinking, why would they ask me that? So then I actually looked at the title, and it's whatever the title was, featuring like three question marks. I'm like, oh, that's why I got asked that. I don't know. I don't do the booking for Frank. If it was, he's never asked me. I kind of wish he would do this. I see why he doesn't, but I kind of wish he would. Like maybe put it up on Quite Frankly TV, put it up somewhere, a poll, not on YouTube, but just take yeah, I don't know, like three or four people or even two people. Like hey, out of these guests, which one's your favorite? And then you can put in the comments why if you feel like it, or you can just vote whatever stuff like that, just to gauge people's opinion, because I don't know if you can gauge it based on like likes and shares and comments after the fact, just because Frank is on so many platforms. I don't know if there's a way to absorb all of that knowledge, or if there's like a website that can collect all that data. And it's like, well, based on these 10 shows on these 10 different platforms, we assume that your most popular guest is this person. I don't know if it's like that. What's up, Jenna? Glad you made it. Like that would be fun to do, like kind of give people a reason to go to QFTV that is not a pain. And people like asking or answering questions, so like just have a poll up. Or what's your favorite kind of shirt that Frank wears? Like a black shirt or a gray shirt or no shirt. I just Jenna finishing up dinner. Nice. What's for dinner? And then I'm not saying he has to like say put up a poll like what's your favorite guest, and then try to get them on the show more. That would just be for his own personal information. It's like the all these random guests Frank gets are not going to care what some random poll says about them. So it's not like they're like, oh well, if I have to be on Frank's show, if the poll says so. It's not life or death like that. Just to ask, but maybe he doesn't care. That's fair. Oh, Rover, glad you made it. Watched that movie many years ago, Tripping and Drinking 151. Woo! Almost made sense. The poem is just as weird and equally dense. Jenna SOS. Yeah. So that's what I didn't do. I didn't look up the poem because I kind of just wanted to stick to what's in the film. And like I don't need it to like branch off in any like lore and things like that. It's like let me just stick to what's here. Um, Again, like with the whole Jabberwocky poem, like what if that activates some a repressed memory and then I get nightmares or no, I'm not scared of it like that. I just literally just wanted to take the film as is, because other than it being a film directed by Terry Gilliam, I really didn't know too much about it. Just a film by one of the Monty Python boys in the 70s. And like whatever the picture on the what they have to use for like the box on Tubi, like that's it. So like just based off of that, it's like it can't be bad. There's nothing bad that the Python boys have done that I've seen. Oh, Dandy, glad you made it. Jenna, I wouldn't recommend to make suggestions to his show. I did in the past and got chased out of Discord. Ooh, yeah. I do see some folks like try to offer suggestions, and I don't know if it's carried on in a DM. Um, it just seems to be, uh, like maybe it's read and considered and nothing is answered back. Maybe it's just politely ignored. I don't know. Uh, yeah. Like how I would like the idea of like putting the name of the song up that's playing, because there's absolutely no way on earth to open up anything on my phone to get it to listen to the song before Frank starts talking over it, and then I get nothing. Like that would help out, because I'm not going to Spotify. Um, I think, I forget if he fixed this because like now Frank has that font that he uses for everything, but it's not good. Like the A for the at symbol, like in an email, like at gmail.com or whatever, very awkward, hits the I wrong. That the letter B that it uses, no, that should not have been an approved shape. Again, it just does not hit the I right. It almost makes you think you're reading. It's not Cyrillic, but for a second you think like, wait, is this Russian? Hold on, I've got to activate the parts of my brain that know other languages. I didn't know I was gonna have to think this hard. Jenna, yeah, a very click s. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's like I said before, Frank's crew thing, deal, all that's it. It's very much a boys' club. All the girls that work for him are work with him because of a guy. Like Krista is engaged to Rob. Frank's wife helps him because that's his wife. Uh, I don't know if his daughter has a choice. Cousin Sherry, if she helps out any, like she's literally Frank's real life cousin. She's all of our cousins, but she's his, real life cousin. So it's not like he just has like random girls helping him out. Like he's friends with guys and like guys help him out. And if they have wives or girlfriends, they help out too. That's just it. It's a spider web that goes out. You're not just gonna find some random chick helping him out. It just does not work like that. It depends. Maybe if her tits were hanging all the way out. I don't know. I don't know what the girls look like that work for him, other than the ones that I mentioned. That's just the way it is, and you can't change it. So all you can really do is just sit back. It's kind of like in a cartoon when like the character's walking and there's a hole and they don't see it because they're looking straight ahead, but you can't stop them because it's a cartoon. So you just sit back there and watch until they walk and walk and then they fall. And oh, you can saw that coming. I told you so. That's okay. That's just how some folks choose to operate. Um, I don't know, man. That they know better. That they got to do what works for them. Uh, yeah. That's just it. It is how it is. I will say don't knock a source because I've seriously heard like some of the smartest comments about things in my entire life from some of the like okay, like here's a chick with like four kids by four different guys, just milking the system, not gonna do jack shit with her life, but she has this like insightful like thought about The Walking Dead versus someone who was like allegedly smart, finished college and everything, and the dumbest words are coming out of your mouth that I've ever heard. So it's like somebody that I had respect for just spouting pure retardation, and someone I could have zero, never have any respect for, and you just said something smarter than this kid I grew up with and watched go all the way and get him. See, like the first person in his family to go to college, and you just outthunk him. I never like told them about each other. Who cares? But yeah, Matt McCat was there. That's what it was. I never thought I was going to see him again. And it was Matt McCat, and the whole chat room freaked out. Like, I was even screaming. I was flipping out, and I was in the Twitch chat room, too. So I lost I lost it. I honestly, like hand to heaven, no bull. I never thought I was going to see that man again. Like, maybe we'd get a couple of stories about, oh, hey, Matt's doing okay. But I never thought we'd ever physically see the dude again, and there he was. So it hasn't even sunk in. It makes me so happy I could cry. Jenna said, hilarious. He keeps the Jay and Matt going. It was actually me who mentioned it. I believe I mentioned it in this chat, so they are lurking. Do you think it would be John Rogers? Glad you made it. It would be so odd for anybody to like bigger than me to regularly watch such a little channel. Because I stop and think about it sometimes. Like everybody else I watch is like they've got like a K after their subscribers, or an M, or things like that. We're on the road to 1 million subscribers. Oh, that kind of a thing. And then they've got like 600K. Like, goddamn, dude. And it's called respect. Yeah. I just don't know what people do at this time of day. I don't know if they have time for this. Maybe people eat at 7 p.m. Eastern. Like, bro, this has been a decade for me. I really don't know. But let me get to talking about this, because again, it did take like 9 pages of writing to get through, and I thought I was being conservative, but they were like numbering my pages, so I guess a lot happens. Jenna said I'm usually eating and I enjoy the chat. That's good, because there's some subjects you don't want to hear when you're eating. So if you can't eat during, quite frankly, you've got a very hard stomach. I've done it before, but I've heard worse stuff. Oh, Tudong, glad you made it. Uh, uh, he says, I doubt showing your tits will get anyone anywhere with the production. Remember how well that went over with, oh yeah, with someone who's not around anymore. That was awkward as fuck. I, however, might be persuaded. Just think of, I don't want to insult Edith Head. Tranny Harry Potter with Miss Chokes on Dick's tits that just like cleavage that literally goes down out of the shot. About 50 years old. Yeah. Yeah, there was an issue with folks, older than me acting younger than me, and then suddenly a lot of folks were not moderators. That seemed to have been around then. So yeah, maybe this is good, or maybe it's, I don't know if it helps if you've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You kind of don't have to, but this sort of feels like if Monty Python and the Holy Grail was like living on Main Street, like this movie would be living like a couple blocks over. Like just because it's we're dealing with, like we're outside, like countryside back in the day, castles, that kind of a thing. Jenna said I remember her in Discord. Yeah. When somebody changes their handle, but then they type the exact same way, it's very obvious when that person, comes back around and is always talking at me for some reason. I don't have anything nice to say. Two dongs. Yeah, she's cool, but put Frank in a weird position. He respects his wife. Yeah. So right off the bat, director Terry Gilliam, you're in for a good time. Even if you don't specifically follow directors, you can sort of tell a Terry Gilliam film even when there isn't like wacky things happening. He did the animation for Monty Python, for the TV show, for the film, so like he has an artistic eye. Two dogs, okay, enough for that. It's just, we can let's see how long this takes. Starts out with some narration. It's just, again, we're in the it never quite gives a year or anything like that. So let's just say 1200 ish, around there. Everyone is speaking English, sometime with an English accent, so they're probably in England. And it's all like nature and like trees. It feels like it's wet. It just feels like it's like it just rained like about an hour and a half ago, and it feels like every time you take a step, it's gonna make that squish sound. It just feels that way. You don't hear it, it just feels that way. Everything's a little bit smoky, a little bit foggy, so you sort of get this low key, like you're in a dream. Is this really happening? That feel to it. And it's just this, this pretty little butterfly lands, and the foot just smashes just right down, kills it. It's this dude. He's got a sack over his back, and he's just whistling a little tune, and he's just like picking up, like, oh, here's mushrooms, here's, just scavenging basically. Oh, that's what it was. One to go to the dark middle of the Dark Ages. Yeah, right around in there. Dragon Sage, yeah, beware the Jabberwock, my son. Oh, Dragon Sage, glad you made it. Now, right off whistling, that's fucking with my tinnitus. So, like, it's like I'm gonna write down what I'm seeing. I've got the volume down as low as I can. I'm not gonna rewatch this, but it doesn't last for a long time. It's just for maybe a couple of minutes. And this dude's scavenging, like he had some traps, so it's like, a dead rabbit, shove it in the bag, just doing his normal, going to the shops before there were shops. But the whole time he's doing this, like whistling, not a care in the world, way up high. Like this would be like taller than two men standing on their shoulders. We're way up, maybe like mid tree height, looking down at this man just doing his thing. And it's this ominous music. We're watching this man. He doesn't notice. He's just whistling away. And we're getting closer and closer to him. We don't know what it is. It's just tall and it's getting closer to him. And there's ominous music. Two donks. I remember the ABC, Alice in Wonderland, and Through the Looking Glass in the 80s. Those were badass. To be fair, the Alice in Wonderland from like the Tim Burton one, yes, it is very CGI heavy. It actually is like not that terrible. Second one, it's a little bit harder to choke down, but it's not terrible. Of course, everybody would prefer to see like the Disney one from the 50s or something like that. But as the camera's getting closer, this guy's still not noticing until the last minute. And that's what because there's nobody else around. Why would he be suspicious? But it's too late because as soon as he's suspicious, this dude is just pulled up into the air, just like feet gone, just up and away. Where they're screaming. Next thing you know, bam, something crashes on the ground, and it's like bloody bones with like flesh and skin hanging off of them. Like say like you can see the arm, it might still have a glove on. Like you can see most of the leg bone, but it still has a foot. Like for practical purposes, they've just buried the actor so you can just see the head, and then they've got the skeleton, bloody skeleton flesh body laying out. The dude is dead as dicks. So it happened fast, so it must not have hurt, but it's of all the murders I've seen, for if they were to do something like that, it would be CGI. They would put too much blood on it. Like it's scary. You see bones and red and it just torn up bits. You really don't see bodies mangled like that, not even in video games. So it's like, whoa, that's not good. Dragon Sage, it's a monster, or it's a very tall, very mad man, mad crazy. Dragon Sage, not to be confused with the fictional monster created by the town business owners. Absolutely. He got mangalated. Yeah. He got murdicated. R.I.P. collector guy. We didn't learn his name. Now we get to some more narration, and this is I think this happened before too. The narration is always the same. It's always Michael Palin. So I would assume Michael Palin's going to be in this movie. He's not just going to narrate the whole thing, right? Oh, Devon Williams, glad you made it. Awesome. But yeah, this is like like never mind that scene talking about yeah, the middle of the Dark Ages. All these cities are just all tore up. Nobody can go out to forage because of what we just saw. Folks are getting killed off, so everybody's scared that they're all staying inside the town, staying inside the castle walls. Nobody wants to go out for nothing. So how are you going to get food if you're not like working the fields, picking apples, stuff like that. So everybody is scared. They're in a bad way. But there are some little outliers. You get far enough away from the cities. There's these little, like patches of, maybe a few homes. People are just living their lives. Devon Williams said, I love this show. Oh, thank you. Yeah, smash the like button if you'd be so kind. So now we are showing one of these little like outlying outskirts, little, like you can't even really call it a town. It's just maybe a few families live here, just like huts and whatever. But there's this old man. He's building a cask that like the big barrel that you put like wine in, stuff like that. You can like ship dry goods in. Dragon Sage, puff puff pass. Hell yeah! He said I'm sitting in my backyard with the fire. Damn straight. Dragon Sage is always kicking it. And again, Michael Palin, he's got this like cute little light. It's kind of like a bowl haircut, brown hair, and he's just like this, like bright eyed, like the world is his oyster. Nothing but good things ahead for him. Just smiling, just happy dude. And all you can do is hear him inside. You see the dad working on the cast, but you just hear him. He's just inside, like counting. Just it sounds like he's just doing the books, like he's a scribe, an accountant, something like that. Just popping his head out. He just taking stock. Yep, that's just what he wants to do. Like he just seems to not care about his dad doing the hard work. He just wants to do like the bookkeeping part. Okay. Oh, Richard, glad you made it. And the dad just kind of just he just got his head down working. He gets the ring around the barrel, like the metal ring, and he's got like all the slats stood up. But then somebody rings the bell for lack of whatever a bell was back then. Clank clank clank, customer. The dad sees who it is, just drops it off. Just the sight of this man, he's already pissed off. So it's like, oh no, what's their beef? And it's just guys sort of like give me like con man vibes, like don't trust your money with this dude. He just looks shady. It's a fella named Fish Finger. So I'm thinking Littlefinger. Is he gonna be like? Do we have to look out for this guy? What's gonna happen? Maybe I'm thinking too much about Game of Thrones. But Fishfinger is just there to, and Michael Palin is his character's name is Dennis. If I forgive me if I mess that up, Dennis. Remember he was called Dennis in Monty Python on the Holy Grail. Supreme executive power. It's not the same guys. He doesn't have that attitude. This is a very bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young man. But Fishfinger's talking to Dennis, like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to get some of these barrels because I got this deal going on. I could ship these, fish into the city, but I need to have a way to get them there. And Dennis is like, uh-huh, yeah, I understand. And Fishfinger, it's like, it's because of the monster. Nobody can get food. So, and, Dennis is like, yeah, I get you. The whole time the father's working, he's just kind of, he's not happy about what he's hearing. And then Fishfinger's like, well, I'm really just trying to get these barrels for it. And did I write down the price like tuppence? Was it tuppence? Yeah, it's tuppence. He just wants to pay tuppence for these barrels. The father, he just goes the fuck off. Like he's done. I don't know what point. I don't know how early he starts, but he's just done, pissed off, going off about how Fishfinger and Dennis, they don't appreciate craftsmanship and just how like, oh, you're just trying to get away from paying a hard-working man for his hard work and how much it goes into making all these barrels, and they're just both kind of, they have to sit there and listen to it. The guy can't argue with his father, and dude's a customer, so they just gotta like sit there and take it. And at one point, Dennis is like saying to Fishfinger, "Do you think the monster's real?" Because he's never seen it. How would he know? Everything is, like what was Twitter back then? How would anybody know? But yeah, a guy, Fishfinger's like, yeah, some other dude in another town said he saw it. So it's very, very, how just how it was before the internet, very word of mouth. Well, I knew a guy who said he saw it, and but his friend was there, and yeah, so there's no way that the father's going to sell his barrels for tuppence, and those two can't appreciate hard work, and like you can tell this the father is just like he might be having the best day, but as soon as he sees this fish finger guy anytime, it just immediately pisses him off. Just like that one person you see, and they just always put you in a mood. That's who fish finger is to the father. Just doesn't can't stand the sight of him. It's like I'm a craftsman. You two wouldn't know about it. And so, I guess Fishfinger's not getting any barrels, so he just kind of, bye and slinks off. And Dennis goes back inside because he loves doing his books. He's an accountant. He knows how to read and write, so he must know how to read and write if he knows numbers. Oh, John, I'm so sorry. Cause somebody mentioned he hasn't been around lately. I noticed that too. He said a friend of his passed away. I'm so sorry. Oh, damn. I'd smoke you out if you smoke. That really sucks. I'm so sorry. But they're okay now. It just sucks for everybody else left behind, and um, hopefully their finances were in good order, so their family doesn't have to stress about it too much. That really blows, especially when it's nice out too. You ever go to a funeral when it's nice out? Or it's a nice day and you're like, wow, it's such a nice day, and then you wonder why you're waiting so long at an intersection, and it's because it's a funeral procession going by. It's like, I guess it's not a nice day for them. Oh, sorry. Yeah, man, that sucks. John Rogers said, "Oh, we would go out for target practice and was my shuffleboard partner." Oh, damn. And I don't even have anything to any drugs to give you, man. I got some gin. That blows. Dragon Sage at this age, every day on this side of the ground is a blessing. I like to say it's better than the alternative. Devon, yeah, puff puff pass. Dragon Sage, how sweet to be an idiot. These guys are just like they mean well. It's just plus to be old back then, I can see why the father is so grumpy. They don't even really give him a name. He's just, Dennis calls him father, so that's what we call him. But that scene's done, no sale. Now it's where it's Dennis, he's in a little boat, little paddle boat. Yeah, we're on the water, of course. And again, like fog on the water, this mysterious, almost dreamlike vibe. You're just slowly paddling up to a house that's on the swamp, I guess, is what you can. It kind of just looks like a shack, it's up on stilts, so it's on the water. But there's like lights inside there, so there's people in there. You might be able to hear some chatter. He's like slowly paddling up to that. And as he gets closer, he's hollering for Griselda. And at this point, I had the subtitles on because I could not understand anything the father said. So her name it's spelled Griselda, not with a Z like the video game character. And at a certain point, I had to turn off the subtitles because it was too distracting. But she's just sitting. It's sort of like there's like this little dock area, and then there's like the actual like proper house. And it's this lady sitting out there, and she's just dangling her feet off the edge, a ginger hair, of a certain size. This lady does not miss a meal and does not look like she's ashamed of it. So more power to her. But she's just kind of just bored, just kind of like Dennis is coming up. She's not even looking at him. She's just sitting there bored, just like whatever, nothing to do. But Dennis is like, "Oh, Griselda, my love, there you are," and she's just, "Hi, yeah, how are you today, my darling?" And he's just so like in love with her, and she's just so disinterested, like barely looking at this dude when he's talking. "Oh, Chris, glad you made it. What's up?" Like you think she'd be happy to talk to somebody? No, she's just as bored with Dennis here. And he's yeah, but basically kind of drops that he wants to marry her someday. And again, she's just kind of whatever about it. Just could not care. I'm not saying like the actress is doing a bad job. She's just the character was just very could give a shit. And like Dennis wants to hold her hand at one point. She's like, no. And he's like, well, why? Why, my love? She's like, I've got a scratch. She's got to scratch the side of her hip or her ass or something like that. So, yeah, Griselda. Yeah, very pretty name. That I've honestly never come across that specific name before. So there, I don't know if it was made up for the movie. I don't know if it's a popular name back in the day. But the whole time he's like talking to her, and he's like he can tell he's sweet on her and he loves her. And this little boy comes out. It's her brother. He walks over to the side of the pier, takes a piss. I think it's like hits his shoulder. I don't know if like he's actually like peeing on him or what, but he like kind of has to like move over. Like I'm standing right here talking to her, like you don't see me. And you hear like some just chatter from the inside. Next thing you know, it's like this whole bucket of just like the ends of carrots and like potato peeling, stuff like that, just trash that was gonna be like if Dennis wasn't there, this would have just fallen in the water, but he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time, so now he's just got all this garbage on him too. But he's still like there's his love. He's it's not getting him down. He's still smiling and happy to see her. And that was a Mrs. Fish Finger. This is when we find out this is the Fish Fingers. So like dude from before, that's his house. So, oh hi, Mrs. Fish Finger. She's like, how's your father? And Dennis is like, never better. And then we cut to the father working in the shop, and he falls over backwards, crash. Cut back. Now we're with Dennis Cooper. We find out his last name is Cooper. What else would it be? But we get his full first and last name here. So we see over to the side, all we see is like some like the side of somebody's ass, and we hear like something dropping in the water. And then like, oh, there's a window there. The guy sticks his head out. There's Fish Finger. Oh, that must be the outhouse. Okay, good. This is a great time to have a conversation with somebody. Oh, hi, Dennis. You've got some rubbish on you. Oh yeah. It's very classy folks. But Fishfinger's happy because he worked out a deal with this other dude to get he's just gonna transport all of his fish in bags for a hay penny. I don't know if it's a hay penny a bag or for the whole deal, but I guess it's less than tuppence. Anyway, where's our? This would be the time we don't have our English folks here. Oh, Krista, glad you made it. But like Patrick and or just anybody from people who like Jerry Coogan still knows all of that. Like 7 and 6 and all the the pounds and 13 and something. It's crazy. I don't know. Like they don't do their money like that anymore, but he still remembers that stuff and it blows my mind. I would not have been able to buy anything. Oh, Chris, his oldest had a baseball game today. Sweet. Did he go like Negan on any of the other kids and just, turn them into hamburger? Krista said, asking me, have you ever been to the haunted garage sale outside of Cleveland and Avon? Been wanting to go for years. I've never heard of that. it that would just be like Needful Things, wouldn't it? Like everything you buy is some kind of cursed. I saw the Rick and Morty cover that as well. I would have to watch that episode again, so I would have to learn, so I could learn how to break the curses. I think I've been to Avon before. Devon, my friend's wife's name is Esmeralda. Ooh, that's pretty. Krista said I still call my imaginary maid Esmeralda. I like that name. I like Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney cartoon we brought up. Oh, Chris says, hey Dragon, working on a few new riffs. I have voice memo recorded. Sweet. Dragon Sage says I do that too. Great idea to capture fleeting ideas. One to go to Dennis. I can't ask for your love until I can marry. Sail away. Yeah, he wants to make something of himself before he marries this girl. I mean, like, why would the dad let anybody marry his daughter if he couldn't provide for her? It makes sense. But he really wants to make good. He really loves her. Chris, my voice memos are my demo studio and notepad for lyric ideas. LOL. Yeah, I thought about like just like the recording like notes for these. Like, oh man, that's fucked up. But then I gotta transcribe it all. So I just. Yeah, Dennis goes to take off, and Fishfinger's like, yeah, I can't wait to do business with you because he knows he's gonna, take over for his dad one day. And Dennis just paddles off. But he gets home. Go inside. There's a bunch of people there. There's the father. He's late. I thought he was dead first, but he's holding a cross. It's like rigor mortis. So it's like he's not dead yet, but he's dying. And so they're all praying for him and all this stuff like that. Everybody's worried. And the dad is just yeah, I'm dying, but he's kind of like using this last opportunity to just like remember when Scarface quit in Half Baked? It's kind of like that. He's just using this opportunity to go off. Telling Dennis he's going to end up just like Fishfinger. He has no appreciation for the craft. He's like, you're just a stock taker. He calls him that like it's a curse word. And then he gets the idea that no, I'm gonna take it all with me. So he grabs this chest full of like gold coins, you assume, while he's lying there dying. He's like, nope, I'm taking this all with me. I renounce you as my son. And then he dies. Takes it with him. It's like, no, I've been waiting my whole life to say this. And then he gets it out of his system. Krista, the channel Oddity Acres here on YouTube always has great videos from haunted garage sales. How could you tell it's haunted? Like is the house haunted? Is the land haunted? Are just as objects specifically haunted? Are the tables giving you a creepy vibe? Like I wonder how they can tell. Like are they water signs? But now Dennis has to do something with himself. His father's dead, so he gets back in the boat, and he wants to go see Griselda. But like you see a light inside, and all you hear is like food, like eating sound, and like burping and stuff like that. Dennis wants to see her, but does anybody even come out? Like, I think even like maybe just fish finger, somebody comes to the window, and Dennis like, is Griselda there? And it's yeah. Can I see her? No. It's like, why not? Because she's eating. Like, oh, okay. Well, will you tell her that I have to go? But I love her. I'm never gonna forget her. But I have to go, and I'll be right back. Just don't forget me, my love. One of those kind of things. You hear inside Griselda, pass the potatoes. It just nobody is just ignorant. Like he's speaking loud enough they can hear him. But about a minute later, you just hear, "Oh, this is rotten." You see something come flying out the window, kind of lands in Dennis' lap. Dennis's lap. It's kind of like a big ass potato, but it's just like half of it. Like somebody just chewed off half of it and chucked the rest away. So he's like, "Oh, it's a token of our love. I'll keep this with me always." So that's his little, can't think of the word, but that's his little keepsake from his sweetie. He's gonna keep that with him while he has to go into town. Krista said, basically, I was hoping it was more of an actual garage sale, but it's basically horror convention type merch, but a lot of indie creators. Like, I know there are folks that collect Dark Shadows stuff, and that is very interesting, but I am not financially able to do that, so it's like, it doesn't help me to see things I can't buy, and the Dark Shadows stuff that I want doesn't exist. So I guess that worked out. Like there are some canon books that cover the Willie Loomis character. I would love to get my hands on. They're paperbacks. You have to buy them from the actual company because you just cannot find them secondhand anymore. Some might be a tad bit pricey, but not crazy expensive because they are paperbacks. I'd be interested in those. Devon, if we want burping sounds, we'll watch Frank. LOL. Like these folks are just chowing down. They're just like the way the Chinese make noise when they eat, but worse. Chris, yeah, if it was the chair the previous owner took a shite in, you'll be haunted by the smell of it if you buy it. Oh, Krista says the Cleveland Haunt Club puts it on. Lots of hearses, hearse crews. Every once in a while, I'll see a hearse around town during the day. I think it was with John Rogers one time. It's like the middle of the day, and there were like Walmart, like, it'd be funny if they hit somebody. Now we're at a castle. It's daytime. I thought it was a torture chamber. You just hear all this screaming. His token, yeah, that's LOL. Dragon Sage, thank you. But it's just this guy walks into a room, and there's a dude in the bed. He's like, he must be just having night terrors because he's all moving around. He just cannot hold still. His ass is up in the air. His legs are up in the air. Sheets all wrapped around everywhere. Like this dude is just all over the place. Dead asleep. But this other guy comes in. He puts some herbs into this bucket of water, and he carries it over to the sleeping guy, and he just dumps it on his ass. The dude wakes up. Yeah, good morning, Your Majesty. So that's the king, the dude having the night terrors. That's gonna be our guy. Now we're outside. It's this happened again. There's this clanking metal sound. I could not hear anything over it. But it's these two, those things where like it's like a chair, but it's got like these two long poles. That way, like you got four people to like carry you on their shoulder. It's like that, but it's like two guys, so they got their people carrying them through this busy ass crowded streets while they're having their conversation and like beating the guys like they're horses, like every once in a while, just hitting them. You dicks. But they're having a conversation talking about how the king is going to do something about this monster because it just has everybody terrorized. Then the way they dismount is very weird. It's like their guys have to like kind of like run around this area, um, and then like they walk over to let the guys step off, but two of them fall over. I don't know what that was about. Maybe they're superstitious. Could be. Just a very odd way of dismounting. Oh, John Rogers, I just remembered Comic Con is at Kalahari this weekend. Yeah, now's a great time. Yeah, you go to Walmart. That's when I saw Thor. That must have been. Dandy, I used to have Dark Shadows trading cards. I wonder if they're still around somewhere. Like, I'm sure they still exist, but all the collectors have them and they're, crazy expensive. I don't know if stuff like that is still in print. Devon used to help a buddy do amateur hunt at Lehigh Acres called Shady Acres a while back. Love that shit. Oh, cool. Oh, one to go to. Yeah, thank you. Am I at that part yet? Yeah, here we go. Now we're like the people going through town. It's I don't know if we quite get their names. And whenever I did get a name, I tried to look it up, and it was not on IMDb. Turns out it's not really that important. Oh, we get this one guy. He's got a hat that has like white feathers. Second dude, basically the same thing, except he has yellow feathers on his hat. Other dude, just a black hat. And these are like, some kind of, richer type of folks, running areas of the town, definitely not commoners if they're getting carried through the town like that. But we're in this like dark building, this big room, there's candles, chairs with no backs. It's like this giant standing candles, and then like the chair that's shaped like you and it doesn't have a back. And it's like many of those, like five or six or seven. And they sit down, and that's when he comes out. This is King Bruno. The doesn't look at their battery charge. I don't do that on purpose. I'm sorry. Sorry if that's loud. My bad. Okay. So, King Bruno, the questionable, like one to go to says, son of Olaf the Loud. Devon sounds like Cher's bedroom. LOL. It's very like it's so dark you can't even see the walls, but like the door opens so you can see like the light from the door. Like they clearly don't have like the ceiling lit up. Very dark room, very creepy. But I wasn't quite sure what was happening here because okay, we get this announcement. Here's our King Bruno, old man too. This dude is like up there. He's either been he's been king for a minute. He just looks tired. But it's like some peasant dude. It's kind of like a weak assassination attempt because this guy comes running in, and whenever somebody tries to kill the king, like something minor could happen, and his two guards, one of them will just like pull this man down, like completely cover his body, and that's it. Like nothing happens. Somebody's trying to kill him. They just overreact to anything. Pardon me. But I think he just did that to, like get their attention because the guards stop him, and it's just a scared villager guy just trying to tell the king, like, hey, there's this monster out here scaring everybody. We don't know what to do. You've got to help us. And there's some other, villagers that like came with them to like back him up, like, yeah, listen to this guy, knows what he's talking about. And then they kind of just get off into this conversation that just does not have anything to do with anything, kind of like a chat room. And somebody must have mentioned like going to see a doctor before. And this one guy goes, I saw a doctor once. He didn't see me. I was hiding. So stupid. It's cute. He didn't see me. Uh, like Michael Palin does not say that, but like I can hear like I swear to God he must have written that line because I can hear it like that in his voice. Like that just sounds like something a character he would play would say. Chris said, I love how we have so many costume parties here. Comic Con this week, Bike Week next week, then the Pride Parade 2 weeks after. LMAO thought Ohio was trick or treat. It's what is it? Christmas starts in like on Labor Day. It's terrible. It really is. We go from Fourth of July to Christmas trees. It's disgusting. But then the peasants start arguing about like what the monster looks like. Well, have you even seen it? Well, no, I haven't, but my friend the next town, no, nobody's actually seen it, but they're like, oh, it was green, like no, it was yellow. It's like so they just cannot decide what color they think it was. It doesn't matter what color it is. It's a big ass monster. But they're just getting into the semantics of it, and then the king just has enough, has him taken away. You'll deal with it later. Want to go to get it? I was hiding. The way he says it too, it's so cute. Like his inflection, it's adorable. And the king has to say to his the scribe fella, talking about how he's beginning to think his subjects are a pain in the ass. But what it is, a dentist is in town looking for a job. But there's a big line of people to even get into the city. Nobody's allowed in unless they have money or food or something. You cannot just walk in there. Doors are closed. So everybody's getting screened. Dentist's like, I don't have anything. I just came here just to look for a job. Like, I got nothing. But they search him, they find this half a potato. They're like, what's this? What's this? You said you didn't have anything. What do you think this is? It's like, oh well, you can't have that. That was given me by my beloved. That's from the girl I'm gonna marry. And the first guard just kind of just like, whatever. But the second guy starts to get so emotional. He's like, your lady gave that to you? Oh, you must be a one lucky guy. She must love you so much. Dennis is like, do you really think so? And the second guard is kind of like, no, he's in love. He doesn't say that, but she must love you. But he's not going to give it up, so they can't let him in, so they have to shoo him away. So he kind of walks away a few feet. Like, hey, hold on. Turn around. Turns around. Show us your legs. So he just undoes, like, you see from the side, like if you want to see Michael Palin's ass, there you go, because he pulls down his pants, like not, like just down past his knees, covering his bollocks. Can't see that. And then the guards are like, nah. So there he's just standing there, just has to pull him back up. So it's so this scribe guy, we see him again. I think his name is Hugh. Could not find that on IMDb. I don't know this actor. The name doesn't come up too much. I call him a scribe, which is a big deal back then if you can read and write. But that's kind of just his right hand man. He's always like reading stuff off to him. But that's what he's doing. He's got this, like long ass scroll, and he's reading off to him about just something, and just the king's eating, so he's not paying attention. Tries to bite something. It's got a weird texture. He's got to spit it out to let one of his, food tasters, look at it, see what it is. Oh, that's just plaster. Oh. Oh, Devon said you're up the street to John Rogers. Yeah, Devon's kind of local, isn't he? You're in Ohio. But the king starts sort of waxing nostalgic about how folks used to just like fight with each other and the glory of combat and all this kind of bloodshed and how great that used to be, like tournaments and all that kind of stuff. He just wants to see people fight and kill each other. But the scribe, this Passel Hugh suggests, he's like, well, how about instead of that, we just have all these, peasants who are just hanging out around outside the city. Why don't we make them fight each other? The king's like, But they'll have wooden swords. The guy's like, no, 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 it's okay. We're gonna have them all fight each other, and it'll be fun to watch. It just trust me, don't worry about it. So the king just kind of takes off. He walks through the castle. He goes into this other room, and it's maybe like 10 chicks, and they've all got their heads down sewing because that's all women did, even queens. You had babies, and you sewed, whatever. I don't even know the proper term because I can barely do it. But that's all they're doing, and this is the his daughter, the princess. Like young girl, blonde hair, and she's so excited because they're like sewing. It's like to commemorate some battle, which is what a lot of tapestries are. Commemorating battles. They're also used for propaganda. That doesn't come up in this film. That comes up in I think A Song of Ice and Fire specifically, not even the TV show. But I digress. But as this guy's talking to his daughter, he kind of leans on, it's like this tower, so there's like just a stonework there. Puts his hand on it, but goes like that because then it falls. And the daughter's sewing. She's like, "Oh yeah, we just had, lady such and such fell out of the window last week." And like it happens there. But the king's like, "So listen, I just had this great idea. We're gonna have a tournament." I might call it a tourney again. Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire. You don't have you don't have to have seen that, but I might use some of that terminology. Anyway, they're gonna have a tournament, and the winner is going to marry her. And then we're gonna first we're gonna make the guy go kill the monster. Then he's gonna come back and marry her. And she's just so pissed off, upset. She's like, "A peasant, father, I'm supposed to marry a prince." It's like, "Well, we can make him a prince after he wins the tournament." And she's like, no, she's not having it. She's whining about it. She's supposed to marry a prince, and it just starts, like for somebody her age, she suddenly becomes a 6-year-old with the whining, even though she's like, I don't know, 18, at least an adult. But he's like, no, no, it'll be fine. We'll make him a prince afterwards, and then you can have a bridal suite over in how's it gonna go? Yeah, we'll have a bridal suite built after the monster's dead in the West Tower. And he looks out the window, and there's the West Tower, and it literally like crumbles as we're looking at it. Yeah, I mean, like you can like practically, it's just like like they just forced perspective. They just like built it small, and they just put it far away. It's good special effects, especially for the time. Like I really had to. It took me a second. I'm like, whoa, this is not CGI. They really built this and made it crumble. So like, great timing there. Like you can have a bridal suite in the West Tower. Uh, Actually, the East Tower is just as nice. So this whole castle is just falling apart. All right, we're outside now. It is raining. It is cold. Oh, good. Uncle Butch is supposed to visit there tomorrow. Dragon Stage, like the tarot card, the tower, yeah, with the lightning hitting it, the dude falling out of it. I don't know tarot that well. Isn't the tower generally bad? But yeah, it's just it's outside, it's raining, and Dennis is just kind of like curled up next to these that have rocks. It just water's just pouring down. Absolutely nothing's dry. It's cold, but he looks over, and it's these people, and like they got the little stew pot, and they're adding stuff in, and you'll notice it here. This happened earlier, but extras in Terry Gilliam films are very extra. Like they're just doing like a little bit more movement, like slightly bigger gestures, more than you'll see in other films. Like if you didn't know it was a Terry Gilliam film, just watch the extras, like the people who don't have dialogue in the shot. And it's not that they're hamming it up trying to get attention. They're just doing just that little bit more, enough that you notice it. But they're, like so hunched over, so interested in like dropping the stuff, and they don't want nobody to get nearby. And then Dennis comes walking up, so they're suspicious of him right away. Like, yeah, hi, I can't help but notice you're making some stew there. And I really like to taste some of that. And they're like, no. Like, oh, come on, please, I'm starving. Isn't there anything I can do for you? And they kind of talk now. Yeah, okay. You can go get us some firewood. You want to go to? Could I have some of your soup? They tell me to go get some firewood. Oh, firewood, sure, I can do that. Well, where is it? They point, turn around and look. It's just trees with fog in front of them. You cannot, you can just see the tops of the trees. You don't see bark or nothing like that. It's just creepy looking as hell. It even looks like it's downhill a little bit. So he looks over there and he looks back and he's like, Can can I at least taste the soup first? They're like, no, get out of here. It's like, oh, okay, sorry. All right, yep, firewood coming right up, sure. It's always very, cheery type of speaking. I know Dennis did, before he goes to see those people, he pulls out the potato. It is starting to look black now. I forget how long it takes a potato to start like turning, but it is starting to look a little bit black. He probably would not want to eat it anymore. Yeah, that's why I did write it down. You will notice the extras giving just a little bit more in Terry Gilliam films. But there's Dennis. He's in the wood. He's picking up sticks. He's got like almost a whole armful. He's just looking, nothing huge. He just wants to get his sticks and get the hell out of there. But the whole time, something's watching him. Something way tall up in the trees. He doesn't notice it, but he's not comfortable there. And it's watching him the whole time. And right when you think something's going to happen, this dude pops up. Now that is Terry Gilliam. He's acting in his own film like he's never done that before. But this dude's crazy. He's like, get out of here. You're trying to get into my diamond mine. And he's just holding, rocks, just rocks, just like get out of here. These are my rocks, or these are my diamonds. And then Dennis is like, those aren't diamonds. Those are just rocks. It's like, oh, well, you're still trying to take him from me. He's just very weird trying to get him away from him. And Dennis just, I don't think he's come across anybody like this before. He kind of doesn't know how to act, what to go to. Yeah, the secret of my diamond mine dies with you. Yeah, he attacks him. So I forgot how he gets him down, but like the crazy man attacks Dennis. So Dennis is just kind of like on the ground covered up. And you see this man's hand come down. He hits him once, hits him twice. Hand goes up again. You're waiting for the third blow, but nothing happened. But then a second later, bam! Here we go. Now here's another one. All you see are bones, bloody bones, like torn up flesh. Like you can see like the arm, but he's still got a shoulder. And again, it's just like they just took the actor, buried him up to like human head, but the rest is just completely torn up. So Dennis gets the fuck out of there, runs the hell out, drops all the sticks, runs past the dude over there with the stew pot. He's like, I'll pass on the stew. And I think there's even like a scream from the woods. It's just like, no, I decided I'm not hungry. Yeah, next morning, this is a nice shot. I guess this is when all the guards like relieve themselves because he's trying to sleep. There's some like water hitting him. It's not water. Some, guards taking a piss off of the top. And he looks around and sees that's what all the guards are doing, just relieving themselves first thing in the morning. But then he, as he realizes how dirty he is, he notices a door open up and a guard comes out. Well, this guy, he's messing with his pants. He's walking over here. He's dropping them. He needs a drop of dues. So while this guy's inconvenienced and grunting, Dennis sneaks in, goes inside, closes the door after him. Then you just hear all this banging. Hey, let me in! Get out of there! You're not supposed to. But he's inside the city. John Rogers, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. That lumberjack sketch, I could probably still watch it now. Like the song, it still gets me. But this is the first time we're really seeing artwork. Like every single business, again, like people couldn't read, so it's not like there's like names of stores, but it's just like artwork and banners and painted wood signs for all the different businesses. And it's this wonderful music, and Dennis has never seen anything like this before. Nobody's around. Again, it's first thing in the morning. It must be his first time in the city. Then this dude, just some random guy, just walks out, and he's got his hourglass. He looks at it, rings a bell. Rush hour! Bam! Everybody's in the shot. Dennis is like this. There's so many people around, you can't see nothing. Like the editing is fantastic to go from nothing, dude ringing the bell, to everybody in the shot. Hilarious. I had to watch that twice. But then we see these weird, like there's all those religious psychos. So here are these people that like they're walking through the streets and they're like hitting themselves, and they're bloody and torn up. And like they're rolling a giant like wheel. It's like maybe 6 or 8 feet tall, and it's got like maybe like I know cogs is not the right word, but it makes me think like a gear that would go into a watch, except it's huge. And like they like roll that over. It's hollow inside, so like yeah, it's of course it's wood, it's heavy, but it's not gonna like kill somebody immediately. Like some dude lays down so they can roll it over him, and he's happy about it. They're holding their banners. This one guy's repeating, saying something. Everybody repeats after him. Religious psychos. Then we come across this dude. He's just sitting there. Devon, so New York, yeah, basically. It's this dude. He's sitting there. You can see like the end of his leg, and then there's like a bloody foot and a knife right there, and the blood is fresh. And he's got his begging cup, and he couldn't be happier about it. He's got a great smile on his face. And Dennis looks at the foot. He's like, is that yours? Guy's like, of course it is. Whose else would it be? Okay. And Dennis is like, yeah, I don't have any money. Guy's like, that's okay. And he always mentions he's a Cooper's apprentice, and he's, in town looking for a job. And the guy with one foot, he's like, hey, that's what I do too. My name is Walt Dabney. So and then Dennis has heard of this man before. Saw, not I've only ever seen Saw 3. Wait, 2 or 3. The one with Angus McFadden. But Walt's telling him, he's like, you see that sign over there? It's just like a square with an X inside of it. He's like, that's the guild mark, and the guilds run the whole town. So if you want to work as a Cooper, got to get in with the guilds. It's just not going to happen. But if we team up, then he grabs the knife, and Dennis is like, no, I'm fine, thank you, bye, and gets out of there. Now these folks are new. This is a herald, and there's this terrible trumpeter and this terrible drummer. The trumpet just sounds terrible. They make all this noise, walk through. Dude finally gets up there. The herald does. And the whole time he's talking, the trumpeter is like playing over him. The drummer is playing over him. They're getting louder. So finally the herald just takes the drum and just bashes the one guy over the head. So he's basically wearing it like a hat. So you can't even see his face. Chris, the first one dude cuts his foot off made me think of that. Oh yeah, that's right, the first Saw, yeah. I just know the first Saw from memes. Spoilers for Saw. A guy saws off his foot and Saw, no way. How'd they think of the name for those? But this guy is just basically announcing that there's going to be a tournament and the winner is going to get the princess. Now we get jousting. Whole new day. I don't know if it's the same day. We see these just folks just getting set up for it. So like the guy in green takes out this dude all like dressed in black. The girl, the princess, her headdress thing that she's wearing. I love this thing. It's so delicate. Like it must just be made out of like wire and gold, and you can just it's like this frame that it's like bigger in the back with like these evenly placed gold. It is so pretty. Divine Princess Bride guy. Yeah. Yeah, Carrie Elwes. The guy checks his phone and it's like something like September 10th, 2001. And then the meme is like, oh man, if this guy thinks he's having a bad day today. Dandy said, my mom liked the Saw movies. I couldn't watch them. LOL. I kind of want to watch the first two. Maybe it will make the third one make sense. But I ruined it for myself. I read the synopsis for the third movie. So like the surprise at the end didn't surprise me. That's my fault. It's still good. Like don't fuck it up for yourself. Just watch the third one as is, and you'll have a good time. I'll stop talking about it. I don't want to spoil anything. It's just I'm an Angus McFadden fan. I'll watch him in anything. This is when we hear again. It's like Michael Palin in his voice, but you hear somebody say, "Beware the Jabberwock." To Dennis. I don't know if you can see who it is. It might have been ADR after the fact because it's Michael Palin's voice, but that's when you hear it. That's the only time we hear it. So these other folks joust. This one dude has like a horn helmet like this, and he takes out. He kills this other dude with some kind of like doggo head thing on top of his helmet. He kills that guy. Well, first he does the jousting thing to take him down. Then he kills him properly with a mace. So this dude with the helmet, the horn helmet, does not f around. And Dennis, he's out in the crowd. He's looking for food. He sees there's folks selling carrots. Somebody's taking turnips and just dumping them into like a basket, but one falls out and he sees it. So he gets down on the ground. He's creeping up closer to it. And right when he's going to reach for it, somebody walks by and kicks it. And inside you hear like the crowd from the tournament like cheering. So now it becomes Dennis like following this turnip around, and every single time like a villager accidentally kicks it, you hear like the roaring from the crowd from inside the castle. So it's like a soccer game with the cheering and like the ball rolling around. UK football. So that was interesting to do. I've never seen that happen in a movie before. Yeah, now we're in like the armorer's workshop, big busy workshop, tons of folks around, well lit. Everybody's doing something. One guy's just complaining about like just the craftsmanship of the mail that he ordered. It's just not good enough for him. And Dennis is seeing all this. There's a guy with he's got like this like a glove, and it's got to have nails on it. And like every time he puts a nail in, some other dude hits it with the hammer. But he's reaching for the nails over here, puts one in, guy hits it with the hammer, and he's watching this whole thing go on. And Dennis is trying to talk to this dude, and about halfway through, he's like, you realize you could be more efficient if you would just move your nails. And as soon as he moves the nails, the guy's hand moves to where the hammer is. This guy freaks out, screams, so of course it hurts. So he hits the wall. All these spears fall over. They hit this guy holding like a water barrel. This guy falls into some more armor. Like everything in the shop falls over, crashes, breaks, wooden beams. Folks are running. It's a wreck. It's a total wreck. And then like the dust is just starting to settle. There's like a beam there, and here's this guy we haven't seen before. He just goes like that and touches it, and the thing falls over, and he's like, I've always wanted to do that, and he just gets out of there. But this dude has it's like a leather cap, like a skull cap, but it's leather. Not getting a name for this guy yet, but he just seems like a troublemaker. Yeah, now we're over in a tavern, and Dennis is like, he's like, I can't remember the last time I ate. And this dude he just met, he's like, oh yeah, I once went for 147 days with no food during the siege of something. And the whole time he's talking, it's like the tavern owner's working, and he's kind of like looking over at the guy's wife. And he was saying like, yeah, it was such a person wanted to maybe want to be a squire. I thought that would be such a great line of work to get into. Then he starts getting into a story about he just starts becoming very theatrical. I didn't understand what he was on about, but he's talking about how like a real man is a fighter or a squire or a knight. Like what's all this businessy, commercey stuff? And basically like talking down business owners because it's not real work like fighting is. And he's just getting loud and bombastic. And he starts a fight with Dennis. And then he starts whispering like hey, dude, just keep it up, just go with it. Dennis just kind of goes with it. He doesn't know what's going on. But as this, like taverns are used to fight, so the barman goes downstairs in the basement for some reason. This squire guy like kicks the door and then it closes it, so this guy can't get out. And again, like he's been making eyes at the dude's wife the whole time. And she's over there like lifting up her dress, we're seeing some leg. And so, he's finally realizes he has his chance. She's got the same idea that they both go running upstairs. And like there's a guy underneath, he's pounding away to be let out. There's the bar patrons, they're just drinking, they don't care, nobody moves. And this guy gets out, and he can't even think, the barman can't, because flood of people come in. Oh, I need an ale, I need an ale, I need an ale. So he's pouring ales. Everybody's working, everybody's busy. And finally, one of his mates is just kind of frantic and just says, your wife's gone. It's like, God, what do you mean gone? She was just here. She was. And then Dennis tries to, it's like he's telling him that his wife is upstairs with the squire, but he's also trying to say that she's not there. But then he kind of like nods as if, towards the stairs. So like it's very, he's trying to do the right thing by the barman, but he's trying to, it's, he plays it very well. Anyway, the barman realizes that his wife is not around because she's with, that squire. So he's pissed off. So the barman and Dennis fight. They're outside, and right as Dennis is going to get fucked up, the guards stop him. And then they recognize Dennis, like, hey, this guy's wanted, there's a price on his legs. Like, hey, let's take these two guys in. Oh, what's up? Is that B chap? Did you change your handle? No scene. We're seeing one of those richer folks, the one with the white feathers, talking about how they need the monsters for prosperity in the kingdom. Like, like business has never been better with everybody scared AF of this monster. We need to keep the monster to keep people scared, to keep business up. So then the king comes out, sits down, but the herald has to say something before the king speaks, makes this real big long announcement. King Bruno doesn't even get to talk because his bishop is saying that the numbers are up. And then again, the king tries to just even say anything. The herald cuts him off, and the king smiles and says, "Guards, kill him," and they drag that guy away. You hear, yeah, you hear like the blade. You see a blade. You hear a blade come down, like you think he's being beheaded, and then you hear a scream. And I swear for a second, like I know he's in the credits, but like this dude turns his head. I'm like, that's Terry Jones. I couldn't tell you what character he's playing or nothing. I just know that he's in it from IMDb. So it was blink and you'll miss it. But those the two the barman and Dennis are brought in for fighting, and so they're gonna have to explain themselves in front of the king. But as they're brought in, they're still fighting with each other. They hit some man is holding like a giant, like, barrel, cask, but it seems to just be full of ashes. Because they bump into this guy, this thing shatters, and it's like a smoke bomb went off. You can't see nothing. Everybody's covered in ash, but they're looking around. They can't find Dennis anywhere. All they have is the barman. So the king's like, kill him on the charge of cannibalism. I guess that's just the first thing you can think of. But yeah, Dennis is running. He runs upstairs. There's this tower that's incomplete. Runs back down. Runs into this room. And the first thing you see, it's like a bunch of ladies. And this one chick standing there. She's just completely nude. That's that princess girl. And she's totally not shy about some strangers seeing her naked. She's like the other ladies are trying to cover her up and hold stuff in front of her, and she's like, "Oh, my prince!" And she's walking in front of her like we can see everything. Like, I can't believe it's you, and you're here, and like they finally like get some like clothes on her. It's just like some sheer white thing. The lights behind her. She's like, "Don't you think I'm beautiful?" You can see her tits right through the top, and he's like, like he shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be seeing that. He's like, I was trying to go. And she just thinks, oh, you must be so upset from having to wear that ugly disguise and dressing like a commoner. And he's not correcting her. She's just really thinks he's a prince in disguise. And he's trying to say, he's like, well, I'm actually, I've got a beloved, back home, so I can't marry you. And she's like, "Oh no!" She's coming up with this whole backstory for him. Like, you must have rescued a damsel in another kingdom, and you promised your heart to her. And she's just filling in this whole backstory. Meanwhile, they're talking in the background. We see a grappling hook come through the window. It catches on something, and then like we finally see like a hand come up over it, like the stone there. This person gets his hand on it. We assume it's a prince, but the stone pulls backwards. Oh, dude falls, splat. Nobody notices except us because they're too busy talking. And she's her thought is to help him escape by dressing him like one of these sisters. So it's like, Devon, no tax on tits. uh we'll dress you like one of the sisters so you can get out of the city, so you can go back on your quest. Sister so and so. And the sister turns around. It's a dude. It's a dude. Like, you like, oh, they want like the sister to take off her clothes to give it to like this guy. So the air quote strength of the sister is like, like shyly like finding some clothes to like, they can clearly tell like Dennis knows it's a dude. And it's not the only one either. It's like, hold on, you got all these guys working around this naked chick. But finally like gets in some clothes. So Dennis is, dressed like a sister to get out. But as he's changing his clothes, the potato falls out, and by this time it's like growing stuff on it. She's like, "Oh, I'll keep this. This is your sign of your love for me and the church." He's like, "Well, actually, I kind of," and he just can't get it back from her. He's just rushed out of the room. He's just got to go. He's walking through the streets. There's some drunk guard kind of singing, staggering, grabs him. Oh, come on, love, give us a kiss. And this other guard's like, dude, that's a sister. You can't kiss a sister. And I forget exactly what the guard says, but then he like grabs, well, he was gonna grab her by the pussy, but there was something else in his hand, so he kind of freaks out. Dennis freaks out. They kind of, like get away from each other. Dennis just kind of like takes off, just trying to hide. But he can't get far because the second he gets 10 feet away, he turns around. All the townspeople are there. There he is. That's the heretic. They think, they think, okay, here's a woman with a penis. It can't just be a man in drag. It must be some kind of demon. So they grab him up and they're going to burn him. And like now it's night. It's full on night. And they've got the fire going. Dragon Sage had traveled and partied with a lot of Australians over the years. Canadians and Australians are like distant cousins. But we got the religious fanatics talking about all the pain that Dennis is going to feel before they send him to, hell or whatever his punishment is. And like all those crazy followers are like, no, no, wait, I want that. I want that. Why does he get to suffer all the pain and stuff? I've been in this sect since, so like they want to have the punishment. Frank's not on today, Devon. That is a premiere. A premiere is something you've already seen. That's just Frank uses AI to make clips for his shows. So that all these the followers want to feel all the pain and suffering. This one guy gets up in there and says like something, and somebody asks him what it means. He says, "I don't know, but I want it." So they take Dennis out of what they were gonna do to him is because they take Dennis out, they put this guy in. It's a catapult, but they set him on fire first. Make sure he's a ball of fire. Catapult his ass over the wall, splat, dead. That's what happened to the one other guy. I don't know, but I want it. Yeah, now a new scene. The king is excited for this tournament, but that scribe dude is not. He sees that princess has that potato, takes it from her before she can even explain anything, just chucks it out the window, and then it lands on Dennis. Like he's just hanging out, just standing there, just kind of just lands in his arm. So he gets his potato back. The tournament, I swear this has happened somewhere before because we've got the princess, King Bruno, and that scribe, the scribe. And like they all look nice and pretty and stuff like that. And the princess points at the dude with the horn. She's like, "Oh, look at that one, Daddy! I could never marry a man like that." King's like, "Oh, don't worry, you won't have to. He's not gonna win." And next thing you know, a horse is galloping. Blood splatters all over the princess. She's happy about it. And the king's just kind of like, oh, like, kind of looking like, oh, damn, I thought I was gonna die. I guess not. And while this is going on and they're happy about the killing, the king and the princess are, the scribe's talking about how 65% of the knights in the kingdom have been killed or maimed since the monster appeared. And we see some armorer, blood gets on the armor, dude gets pissed off. That stuff's expensive. You don't just get that stuff dirty. How are you gonna clean it? Then we jump back to the king and the princess. They've got more blood splattered on them. One of the jousts, it's not even a joust. It's like they're playing like hide and seek, like running behind these tents. And there was a loud armor squeaking sound. Could not hear very much there. Then we jump to inside one of those tents. It's Dennis and that squire guy, and they're eating. And again, we see now it's everybody. The princess has blood on her, the king is bloody, and even that scribe dude has blood on him. Everybody is just like soaked. It's like I swear I've seen this bit done in later films. It's funny to see how happy they are about being covered in blood. But I guess what happened is the night that our Squire's for one, so he's immediately pissed off. Michael, yeah, how are you even gonna clean it? Like there's running water. So the Squire's totally upset, totally pissed off that his guy won. He's like, I promised my body to a woman tonight. Talking about that dude's wife. Like he didn't like how many times you gotta sleep with her? She's the only one in town putting out. But he would rather go, sleep with that lady than Squire for dude and fight the monsters. So he just says to Dennis, like, hey, just wear my stuff, just dress like me for this one night. And then I'll do it later, but I gotta go see this lady. And Dennis is just fine with it. He goes along with things. He's naive. Devon, you can't see me. I was hiding. You can hear the beast growling. It's like every place they show in the kingdom, there's like this growling sound everybody can hear, from the king all the way down to the peasants. Okay, yeah. The next day, the barman, they show somebody like dropping coins into somebody else's hand, and then like a jail door opens. So it's that barman paid to get himself out of prison. We saw the squire was in bed with the man's wife, but like footsteps coming up the stairs. Squire's hiding under the bed. The barman comes in, and all you see is like his legs and his wife's legs, and she's like like pushing down his like socks, and like, oh, you thought I was sleeping with that squire? No, honey, of course not. I'll prove it to you. Why don't we, like getting him into bed kind of a thing. But what happens is she's lying on the bed, squire's underneath the bed, barman comes and takes a run and jump, lands on top of his wife, and then all we see is like blood coming from underneath the bed. Fucking crush that dude. What the hell of a way to go. Yeah, so Dennis gets to be the squire for the night, our night hero guy. This new Herald guy, new Herald, very nervous. Not does not do a long intro. He announces the king. The king, wishes them well and all that kind of, typical kind of stuff. Okay, now the bishop, and they gotta play this music. And the bishop walks up slow with the incense and the two people with them, and they get up there, and he dips his finger in the bowl and goes like that, and then he dries his hands off. The king's like, "That's it." Bishop's like, "Yep." So that was their blessing. And it's cute the way they do this. They jump to it's like a hand puppet. It's like somebody's wearing like something that looks like a stage, and like you got these two puppets. It's Michael Palin doing narration. So that's how they don't do it for a long time, just to let you know the story's leaving the town. But talking about how they're going to hunt the monster, and specifically Dennis is riding a donkey. He doesn't even get a full regular horse. But as they're traveling, they come to these folks that are being attacked, and it's just the night in Dennis, but we see that there's some ladies there. One of them is a little bit bigger, ginger hair. It's Griselda, and Dennis recognizes her. Like, we got to help her. Dennis goes to help, but then he gets attacked by everybody. They don't go after the knight, they go after Dennis. So Dennis hides underneath the knight while he's up on his horse. He takes out his knife, accidentally cuts one of the stirrups, and so the knight just goes completely, falls over, cannot get back up. So he's just lying there. So Dennis has to fight them off. Fishfinger was there too. He was actually tied to the ground. So Dennis is like cutting the ropes just to get him freed up. And he kind of like hits his hand at one point, and Fish Finger's like, "Hey, was that knife sterilized?" But I don't know why they were traveling, but Dennis just saved them all. And the the victims, Fish Finger's family, you know, rather than thanking Dennis, they all notice the knight, run over to him, help him back up. "Oh, Mr. Knight, thank you so much for helping us. We would have never, if you hadn't have been here." Like he literally did nothing. He just lied there on the ground. "Oh, thank you. We'll do anything for you, Mr. Knight. Actually, I've got my daughter here, and she hasn't been promised to anybody, so, you know, this is how Fish Finger is." And Dennis has still kept that potato. He still has it. And he's like, "Well, I'm the one that saved you guys, and I've still got the potato. I still want to marry Griselda." And Fish Finger is just like, "You're nothing but a vagrant." And they just chase him off. All the rest of the family just chase him off. They just don't want to see him. They're just dicks. Interesting doorbell news scene. This guy like pulls a rope. It's connected to like a rope around some guy's neck, so like it just yanks him up. So he's got to stand up. So he yells. So that's the doorbell. And this is just we were seeing the nobles getting together, talking about like, "Hey, we cannot let the king kill the monster. You know, it's too good for business." And they're like, but we know what we'll do. We've got they got the Black Knight there with the horns. So who's the knight that Dennis squires for? I think I missed some information. I'll just continue. Yeah, here we go. A new scene. There's a smoky forest. We're gonna go to this large, you know, stony cave. There's bloody bones on the ground. We hear laughter coming from somewhere. There's like smoke from little fires, like dead horses. Like somebody went to the butcher, got like a cow's head or something. Very torn up. I wrote down a Minecraft horror mod style. Very much those vibes. Horns on a hill. When you look up on the hill line, that's when you could see that knight with the horns. Again, very horror mod. Minecraft specifically. Dennis is a worse squire than Podrick Payne. Sorry, man, you are. You are not good at squiring whatsoever. Gotta love me some Podrick Payne. I guess you do have to watch Game of Thrones first. Yeah, so I do apologize. Whoever Michael Palin was squiring for, totally different guy because suddenly the Black Knight shows up. The guy that Dennis is squiring for only has like a jousting lance. Straight up just a jousting lance. Meanwhile, the Black Knight with the horns actually has a sword. Those two go at each other. Dude gets cut through. I don't think he's getting back up again. And that scares Dennis, so he grabs a shield and just covers himself up with it. Oh, Michael, top tier voice acting, by the way. Thank you. I'll miss doing these. Immer, Immurement, from Latin im, in, and murus, wall, lit, walling in. Also called immuration or live entombment, is a form of imprisonment, usually until death, in which someone what's that? Oubliette, abluette. It's French. It's just a hole in the ground they stick you in, but it's got a fancy name. It makes me think of that. But yeah, so Dennis has a shield. It's because he doesn't know how to fight, so he's just got that to fight. Because when the dude with the horn shows up, he's got like a crew with him. He's got some other little like fighter guys with him, so he's not by himself. So Dennis has the shield to just like block them, like because they've got like knives and stuff. But then there's also that Black Knight there with the sword. So he's just got like it's a huge shield. It's enough to cover most of his body, but that's all he's got. And so he's just kind of swinging that around and just block and any blows that are just going to come his way. He's doing his best. But Dennis, he does find he gets over to the body of the knight he was squiring for, gets his sword just so he has like something to defend himself with, and he puts his helmet on, and you can really only see that much, and that's all we can see. And then suddenly it gets very quiet. Nobody's fighting, nobody's talking. Oh, Michael, yeah, thank you. Yeah, 9, most of the ninth page. Because what we see, we get Dennis's point of view is, he's looking around, looking around. There's the guys, there's the Black Knight, but there's something there. And we look over and we start looking up higher and higher. And I'm not sure how tall Michael Palin is, like 5'9", something like that. We go up. I don't know how tall this thing is, maybe 20 feet tall. It's 15 feet tall, whatever it is. It's this tall. It's mostly a bird. It's got a beak. It's got like these fleshy, torn, like wings that have just been like it. The wings are not big enough to fly with. They're just there. Maybe evolutionarily, they just don't need wings anymore. But it's like torn, whatever the membrane is, ripped up, bird-like feet, like with two up front and then one on the back, like that. It's got horns. It's got a horn like this. You can see its ribs. Doesn't have arms. Those wings are its arms. But like this huge long neck. It's mostly neck. It's quite horrifying with the red eyes and the noises it makes. I would be scared. But all Dennis can do is just take the shield and just put it over himself. What the hell is he going to do? If he wasn't scared before, he's really scared now. Nightmare fuel big bird. That's what I wrote down. Like, don't watch Sesame Street and watch this and then go to bed. But the Black Knight fights it. He stabs it. It's got this green blood, not like neon green. But he thinks he killed it. This thing collapses, so the Black Knight gets closer to it. And as soon as he does, this thing like lifts its head up, and again, its neck is so long, it just kind of does like one of these, like a goth kid hair flip. And just doing that hits the Black Knight. He's right next to a cliff, so he goes falling off of it. We're not going to see him anymore. He did his best. So Dennis sees that. But, you know what? Again, what can he do? He can't even run away from that. So he still got that sword, and there's the Jabberwocky can see him. So he just takes the sword like this and hides. So it's kind of like sticking up like that, and he's like this. Well, as the sword's sticking up like that, the creature comes down to bite him, but the sword goes right through its eye, and it kills itself and falls over. He just killed the Jabberwocky. So it's done. He's monster's dead. It jumps right back to that puppet narration talking about how and then the brave knight went out to fight the monster and they were never heard from, and oh my god, he's back, he killed the monster. All the townspeople come running out, everybody's excited. There's Dennis, he's pulling something big and heavy. You can't quite see what it is. You know what it is. It's you finally get to see it. It's just the head of this monster, it's taller than a man. It's just like maybe it's as tall as Frank. It might be 9 feet tall. It's friggin' huge. It's not like a dragon's head in Game of Thrones. It's a big MFer. So everybody's excited. Got this giant monster head. So everybody's in town. Even Griselda's there with her family, Fish Finger, all that stuff. And so now Fish Finger's like, oh, wow, I guess you proved yourself. So, and, my daughter is still available. So you guys are going to get married when? But as this is going on, here comes the king and everything. And oh, thank you for saving the kingdom. So like he doesn't he regrets saying this now, but he has to because he said it before. He's like, well, you get to have half my kingdom. He's not happy about that. And his daughter's hand in marriage. And Dennis is like, well, wait, actually, because I was actually promised to jump to the wedding. I now pronounce you husband and wife. Now jump to we're in the town. It all happens very quickly. They're in the town and everybody's like throwing flowers and so happy and waving, and they're in the carriage, and Dennis is just looking out trying to look for Griselda, and he's just so worried. And you get a glimpse of her like she's in all white, like she got a whole new dress for it, but she's upset, she's crying, like there's her man there, so she's upset. Dennis is looking out the back like, oh, and it just right out into the sunset that I'm pretty sure is just animated like Terry Gilliam animated background. There's a fireworks scare the guards. So again, one little firework pops off. They got to grab the king, put him down, cover him all up, even though there's nothing going around near him. And we just get this nice sunset shot and credits. So I guess it's happily ever after for Dennis. Kind of. Yeah, he was the hero. Michael Palin saved the day. Dragon Sage, I love that Nikki is giving us the Jabberwocky breakdown, top notch. Yeah, Michael, I didn't even watch it, lol, but Nikki wrote 9 pages, honor of the week. Yeah, thank you. Dandy, is this a new Hallmark Christmas movie? It kind of could. It kind of could. Weddings, adventure. It's a little bit more of a summer movie, so maybe if they've got fireworks, so 4th of July. There you go. One to go to. Cancel those shipments of wine, grain, straw. Cancel everything. Dragon Sage, accidental heroism. Yeah, like he didn't even want to go there. He just took his job from his friend because his friend wanted to get laid, and he just accidentally saved the day. It's cute how that happened because as it was going on, I was kind of like, I don't try to do this, but I was like, how much more of this movie is there? How fast are they gonna? They still have to kill the thing, right? It's not a two-parter. Dragon Sage, I bought 5 new recurve bows today at a farm garage sale. Was it haunted? Yeah, it's Jabberwocky 1977. As of right now, it's still on Tubi. Tubi is a free app you can watch on your phone, smart TV, and everything in between. That's the best place to watch Dark Shadows from 1966, which I will be reviewing on this channel this year. You don't have to buy the DVD set, but if you have an addiction, it is what it is. And because I am so far behind on Dark Shadows, I personally would not have time to get caught up with the 80% of the show where I thought I was and do movie reviews. So movie reviews are unfortunately on a hiatus until further notice. That kind of bums me out. I like doing the movie reviews. They're fun. I've got them all on a playlist on the channel, so it's 7 of them. That's not so bad. So I don't know. We'll see how things go like later in the year, maybe next year. Get back on it because these really are fun to do, even if it does personally take me a while to get through them. That's just a me thing. That's not a you thing. It's not on the film's fault at all. That was fun. It's a cute adventure. I like Michael Palin anyway. I guess it does have some. It's a '70s. I think there's just nudity everywhere in the '70s. So if you don't want to see like tits and ass, if you're just not in the mood for it, I get it. Like you're not a prude. Maybe you just don't feel like seeing that day. Totally fine with it. So that's there's maybe don't show that with the like the 10-year-olds in the room. Just because there are a few parts. Yeah, but it's not like there's a lot of swearing or anything like that. There's just a little bit of nudity and some sexual situations and murder. But other than that, it's safe for the children. Yeah, so no poll going on for another film yet. We'll just see how the rest of the year goes. There's still some of it left. If you, I know I've brought up the Zero Theorem before. It is another Terry Gilliam film, 2013. Christoph Waltz. Not gonna spoil it. I like the ending, not like the very very ending, but I like what the main character, what they decide at the end. And there's also an uncredited. At some point, you hear like this voiceover announcer. That's Robin Williams, but it's not like it. Like I don't think his name even comes up in the credits. It might just be something on IMDb. But since that was the year before he passed away, I was like really like looking for like the last things that he did. So that's why I just know that off the top of my head. And then I watched the film, and like even if you didn't know that, you know that man's voice, you're like, wait a minute. So that happens. Fun adventure film. Again, I did need subtitles for the father. I don't know if it's just was he just so grumpy I couldn't understand him? Were my ears fighting me that day? A good actor though. I would not say anybody's like phoning it in or anything like that. Michael, no, I haven't. Asked me if I ever watched The Island Ostrog. No, I still have it somewhere. I know I still have it saved somewhere. No, not yet. I'm suddenly so busy doing most of what I've been doing since January. So back to the beginning. Oh, this happened today. I shared it. I get so nervous when I watch these. Shouldn't be this way. But Grace Still Plays uploaded a Grand Theft Auto video. No 80s music. It's not a streak because the last one did. But it's two. It's two. Oh my god, it's two. And it's like 27 minutes long. Oh my god. Thank you. He mentioned his editor Pete. So it's not Zach. So maybe he's got two editors and one of them is just better. So whoever Pete is, I love you. Thank you for working for Gray and not making the same mistakes as Zach. Beach Chap just reminded me of the John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson movie. What movie? I have not seen a lot of John Travolta films. Not really a fan. Like Face Off is a fun movie, but I don't like that John Travolta gets to play like the wild, crazy character more. Like I wanted to see Nick Cage doing that more than John Travolta, but that's spoilers for Face Off from like '97. Oh, Pulp Fiction. Yeah, I haven't seen that forever. Jenna, I watched that video and it gave me high blood pressure. LOL. Um, which video? I don't remember what I just said. I keep looking at my notes because I've got the rest of the week in there. Uh, But yeah, if you want to see Matt the Cat and also Larry, the Lava Lamp, and Louise, who's no longer with us, Frank did play that on Friday, but I'll talk about that next week, at least Saturday. The week it's so loud. Uh, um, what's it say? Thank you when it loads. Thank you, Jenna. She says, I'm lurking. Just saying. Thank you. I do have it in the comments there in the description. It's not YouTube Super Chat. I'm too big for that. So I've got that's a premiere. That's not live. You've already seen that. But I have Venmo and I also have Buy Me a Coffee just because it's whichever one you prefer. Oh, Jenna, oh, the Grace Still Plays video, yeah, gave me high blood pressure. Yeah, that was a little bit intense. It's a list, especially as like the gradients and the 69 degrees. I'm like, whoa, this is a little bit much. I was more nervous about am I gonna have to hear 80s music and have to click off of this and not listen to it until tomorrow. And but it didn't happen. So I can watch it again. Jenna says, I think Gray does voiceover for his videos. Yeah, he does. Like that is him playing. So like he's like saying stuff while he's playing, but then like they've got to edit out the screw ups and just get the good stuff together because his some of his membership videos it's just like outtakes. So like it's funny lines from like a video you might have just watched in the last couple weeks, but I don't know why it's not in the regular video. Like maybe it was just not like hitting like the flow of the. He's not really a joke teller, but just like the things he's talking about, maybe it just didn't fit the flow of that. Maybe it's just too off a topic. It didn't fit in with like the video, but that's him. That is his voice and his playing. Next week, full week at Quite Frankly, plus Wednesday we go to Morning Sickness Matt Christensen. After Quite Frankly, like right at 9 p.m., we hop over there. And then this next coming up Saturday, I'm going to be a half an hour early because Frank is going to be going live Saturday at 9 p.m. So that's just to give my equipment, half hour to not melt and try to calm back down before I go there. So yeah, the next show is going to be in slightly less than a week. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, Jenna said, I don't think he's streaming and recording at the same time for his edited videos. IMO. Like he's because he doesn't go live. Like he went live in 2016 maybe for 3 episodes, but like he's just like a video like uploader. He doesn't pardon me do lives, but do you mean he's like just like playing and then edit it together and then commenting on it? Because some of his reactions, especially when you game, like you can't act that. Can I say that? I could, yeah, sure, why not? He said in one of his videos that he has never done professional voice acting before, and that's blown my mind so much that I've got to say something back. I cannot believe that. No, he has to have learned it from somewhere. You just don't wake up and speak that well. What's up, Kelly? Glad you made it. I especially notice it now watching these Minecraft YouTubers because Gray never runs out of things to say. Meanwhile, I've heard the word bro more times in my entire life in the last 2 weeks than at any other time. Like that's their go-to word. All of these like 22-year-old Minecraft stream. I mean, like I'm not saying that they're bad for using the same word, but they do get sometimes a bit repetitive. Like they can't think of things to say. Um, maybe it's just because they're young. Like I don't mean that to be a dick. I'm not saying any channel names either, but like they're still learning. They're still learning. I don't want to give them shit. I'm not going to give a 20-year-old shit for trying to grow a YouTube channel. They're still learning. They are young. Maybe they don't have dads, so they don't know how to like talk and keep it going and just. But they're it just depends on the channel. I would like to find like one or two that are like solid that I can be like, hey, if you like this, check out this person. But right now, it's just this mishmash of stuff. Jenna, it's better than the N word. Yeah, yeah. Some of them will like they might say like they might drop an F bomb, but then it's edited, so they after the fact they took it out because they realize that's not like maybe YouTube doesn't like it. Maybe they've got a younger audience that doesn't like it. Maybe they just don't want that on their channel. So they are like mindful of using like bad language. They're young too. It's like I know what I'm doing. They've got again like K's after their subscriber count. So like I'm gonna sit there and tell them how to. I just wish they're you just can kind of tell that they don't have the vocabulary they should as far as like the tense of words. They just don't know. And I really just think because like their mom stuck an iPad in their hand when they were 2 and never spoke to them, they just don't have not spoken English enough to know to use the right tenses. At that age, that's bad. You're an adult now. You should like please let like if I were still watching these same people 5 years from now and they still spoke the same way, I would really be in the comments like, dude, read books because no, you're doing English wrong. You're American. If we don't speak right, the only other people we have are folks in the UK. So I'm glad everybody had a couple of extra hours on a weekend, on a Saturday. It's so odd just doing one show a week now. um, it's good and it's bad. I kind of miss like, oh, I want to tell them that, but I gotta wait a week. So it's like my bad that this is like a week after. I wanted this to be last week, but I've wanted a lot of things sooner than they should have happened. So I guess just gotta go with the flow. Dragon Sage, my prey are monsters. Right. Jenny, yeah, have a nice weekend. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Take it easy. More power to you, John Rogers. Sorry about your buddy. You get to see them again. Hopefully, no time soon, but you get to see him again. That just sucks. Beach Chap, yeah, catch you on the flip side. So, check out some Tubi. Check out movies. If you're into movies, check out some Gray Still Plays. This is a Gray Still Plays Not Today's Satan shirt, not affiliated. Link in the description. He's just my favorite channel. I like this channel too. I like quite frankly, but Michael said, have a great Lord's Day, everyone. John Rogers said, have a great night, everyone. Dandy said, thanks, Nikki and chat. Yeah, don't forget your pants. You're going to need them all week. We will be in the chat room all week long for a full Frankly week, getting right back to normal. And we know Matt McCat's out there. There's the potential to see him again between now and New Year's Day, I would assume, personally. So I'm like low key. I shouldn't look forward to stuff, but like I sort of think I'll be able to see that man again between now and New Year's. Wow, I never thought I'd see him again. I do not know how to act with that. Yeah, love you guys. Thanks for being Franklies. Thanks for being based. Thanks for taking your pants and smashing the like button and putting up with my stuttering. Can't get to the end button. There we go. So yeah, love you guys. Keep your head on a swivel. Drive safe. 2A. Don't watch AI videos. Full stop. Get into that next week. Until next time.